I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it lust, but in you I trust. Let's forget about the world, cause you're where I wanna be. Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it lust, but in you I trust. Let's forget about the world, cause you're where I wanna be.
Yes, yes. What's up, world? Here we are again, episode 4, the MANtality Podcast. We got something very special for y'all today, but we're going to get into that in just one moment. I just want to say what's up to the world. Let's take the opportunities to make this a remarkable day. I'm sending a shout out to everybody worldwide. You know how we do it out here. Definitely want to send a special shout out to all the men in the world. Keep your head up. Remember that your commitments and your hard work is greatly appreciated. Yes, sir.
Hold strong, Kings.
Now, listen, we told you we had a special guest today. I want to introduce you guys to Dr. LaTracey today.
Yes.
She has a doctorate in, is it humanity?
Humanity.
You know what I mean? So she kind of studies behaviors and thoughts and things of that nature. So we're very excited to have her here today. And I'm going to just let her introduce herself a little bit.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I'm Dr. LaTracey with Black Authors Rock, and we are a full-service coaching, consulting, publishing firm, and bookstore. And when this is over, I have the greatest idea for your MANtality Podcast.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I'm with it. Always. Yes, yes.
There it is.
Episode number 4.
Man, we here.
We in the building. You know what I'm saying? We just come out of suffering in silence, and now we're here to talk about dating and the mental aspect of dating. Is it damaging? Is it helping us? Or what are we doing wrong? What are we doing right? What are women expecting? What are men expecting? So I'm super excited today to have Dr. LaTracey on with us, our very first episode special guest.
Yes, yes.
MANtality Podcast. So, I guess let's dive right on in. You got anything, Hodge?
Man, dating, man, I know it could be definitely stressful, man. Can have anxiety, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to dating out here in the world. Because, you know, we want to make sure we have the right person in mind when we decide to date. You know, we at an age we're not really trying to waste time, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we're going to just dive into it a little bit, man, and just kind of talk about different aspects of how it can affect, you know, your mental health or what you can do to possibly have a healthy relationship. I mean, I don't know.
Right. I got a question. I'm going to go ahead and come ask Dr. LaTracey a question. Just from a women's point of view, what do you think are some of men's greatest challenges when dating?
One of the biggest challenges I feel that men have is that they live up to the expectation that they set for themselves, and it's unrealistic, especially when they're expecting to do XYZ, but they're with a woman that only expects ABC. So with that, I just think that the expectation needs to be there and be right and be true for who they are as a man.
Definitely can see the point there. I think it's all about setting boundaries. I know we kind of was talking about this a little earlier, just kind of setting those proper expectations, letting your partner know, you know, what it is you see, you know, for yourself, what you see with them, so they kind of know they may want to move forward in the relationship.
I want to add, not to even get in a relationship. Hell, don't be out here talking or even on a dating app if you don't know your own personal boundaries.
Right. And if you haven't checked your own personal mental bank account, can you even afford to have a relationship in your life right now?
Got to take care of yourself first,
You know
or you
what I
can take
mean?
care of anybody.
Like we talked about that. What does your mental bank look like? Are you even ready? Are you even okay to have a relationship?
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes you won't know you're ready unless you get out there dating. But you definitely had to set realistic expectations. You know, don't think you're going to find the right person, you know, the perfect person right away. And is there even such a thing? You know, these lists that we have and those lists that they have out there, are we even meeting these lists that we even make for our potential partners and dating people? You know, is that something that, what do you think about that? Do you think the list that we have, we should be able to attain ourselves? Or do you think it's because I've seen some pretty outrageous lists that.
Oh, most definitely. to have the expectation to have the door open for me, I would open the door for you, whether you have something in your hand or not. It's about my way of showing you love, the way that I know that you expect to receive that love. If I know that your love language, and that's another thing in dating, people don't realize the love languages for themselves or for the partner that they're with. You have to have that in every relationship.
Huge. I know. Yeah. I found out the hard way. I dated this lady, and one of her she kept giving me gifts, like gift cards or buying me something, and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't know. It's the gifts. She was giving gifts was one of her love languages, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know how to appreciate it. I didn't know how to understand it. I wanted more time. I wanted more affection, but her way of showing was buying and giving me things like physical, monetary things, you know what I'm saying? So I had to understand.
She didn't know your love language.
As well. And I didn't know how to communicate it. I didn't know how to tell her that, hey, that's not what I like. I just kept taking it because I was like, well, I don't want to reject her, but I'm not understanding why. So I don't even know how to have the conversation of, why are you doing this? I don't even, she didn't even know that I didn't like that because I never told her.
So you had a fear of rejection and you put that on her.
Well, yeah, at the time. But I didn't know, though, so it wasn't intentional because if I don't know, I don't think it can be intentional.
That's true.
So I think it was inadvertently what I was doing, what it turned into. And, because I think I probably told you, Hodge, about it. I was like, I don't want these damn gift cards, you know what I'm saying? I want some affection, you know what I mean? Some people would love gift cards, and I would too, but mine is quality time. Mine is physical affection and quality time, and also I'm other people's needs. I forgot which one that one is.
The acts of
service is one of my top three, or one of my top ones too as well. So, but yeah, you got to understand yourself though. So, do you even know what you like versus what you need in dating? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I like I don't need.
Man, just kind of going back to what you were saying though. She was giving you gift cards or whatever, and that wasn't really your love language. Whose responsibility is it at that point to kind of communicate the miscommunication that's going on in a relationship right then?
I think it has to be the person receiving the gift, because the person giving doesn't know. They're just giving out of their acts of love to give you however they express. Some people are good wordsmiths. Some people buy flowers instead of saying words. So I just think understanding that, I think it's the person that receives it should say in a manner that, hey, I really like and I appreciate these gifts. But, whatever it is, if you want to feel more appreciated or whatever the gift was for, then, there's a different way. But that's tricky, though, because, they done went out, spent their hard-earned money, took time. It ain't even about money. Most of the time when gift giving is about, hey, they took time to stop and individually shop for me. You know what I mean? That, it's not a generic. They shop for me specifically. So it's kind of hard. It's a tricky one. So you got to be sensitive about it. You got to know the person. But if not, I think the responsibility falls on the bearer receiver. I mean gift receiver, because if I don't tell it, it's just like somebody, you got your lady and it's a dish that she always fix for you, but you don't like it. You don't know tell her. You always stuck having to eat it or some of it or feed some to the dog or whatever. You
better eat that cake. You better eat that cake, man.
But I think it would fall on me. It's my responsibility to say, hey, I really love you taking time, doing that for me. And, but I need to express this, say, hey, I would, feel more appreciated, But then also it's on my behalf to also learn how to receive what they give too, because that's how they love. So I think it's my responsibility too, as well, to understand how to receive the love language as well, not just to give. You can't just give and expect them to just change their love language if you're not willing to understand theirs and know how to give back and receive it.
That's what people don't understand. Your love language is yours. Mm-hmm. It's not on anyone else. So mine is acts of service and quality time. Mm-hmm. So with the acts of service, that's what I like to receive. The quality time is what I like to receive. That doesn't mean that that's someone else's love language. And I have to identify that. So, hell, make it your second date. Or after a couple conversations on the phone, do the test. You could be, on the phone and both of y'all have your phones out and do the test. It's free online. And you can find out what your love language is. And
Just that simple.
Yeah, and it will tell you how to love the person.
Do you know the site, or where can we tell our listeners to
Yes.
go? Do you know it?
It's
Offhand?
5 love languages. Yes. 5lovelanguages.com.
So look up 5 love languages. I'm sure there's different places you can take a test. So do you even know what love languages is? So we challenging our listeners now, and this is a call to action for our listeners. Hey, what is your love language? And if you don't know, let's find out today, tomorrow, and let's find out your significant loved ones as well, because maybe you're misunderstanding and wonder why you keep getting, a meal instead of kiss on the cheek. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
let me ask Dr. LaTracey this here. Do you think sometimes we give people what our love language is, sometimes thinking that may be what they want, not understanding their love language? Do you think that can be a confusion sometimes?
All the time. Because the thing is that people are lazy. They do not want to take the time to get to know someone else.
Ooh.
It's for me and it's about me at all costs. So if I continue to do what I've always done, I'm going to always get the same result. That's called insanity. And yet we do it proudly and very confidently while we're dating.
And tell ourselves lies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my big one.
Yeah.
Quit telling yourselves lies out there. I think not understanding love languages does mental damage, because if I'm out there busting my butt, buying these gifts, and it's still not really satisfying my woman of her needs, and it's just my idea of what I think she needs or want, then I'm gonna be like, dang, I'm not even enough. I'm providing. I'm the man. I'm provider. I'm getting her whatever she asks or whatever I want to give her. So I think that could be damaging as well. Not understanding, like, dang, I keep chopping down these wrong trees. So and
Kind of sounds like just building a strong foundation is kind of what really builds a healthy relationship, as far as like setting the expectations, letting people know what you want, understanding their love language, asking them what their love language is, because if we don't ask, we'll never know how to correct things or what's important to them. So I think we got to branch out and do that as well, because it can affect the mental health. You know what I'm saying? Relationships can cause stress, anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Our relationship can be therapeutic at the same time. So it's all about the steps that we take. So I think, just speaking on what you was just talking about there, Volano. But what's your thoughts on that, Dr. LaTracey, while we have you here, our special guest that we have?
Yes.
Listen, I believe that mental health needs to be discussed in the beginning, because it should be your safe place. It should be your peace. It should be where you can lay your head and not worry about the worries of the world. Because just like you mentioned, dating is therapeutic. And for me, no, I'm not going out here telling everybody, okay, this is my love language and this is how you need to love me, because the wrong one can come up and, create that persona just to make that point. And then you end up being with the wrong person at the wrong time.
How do you find that balance then? Like, how can you show, you know what I mean? Like, so where's the balance in that?
You have to actively listen. You can tell if that person isn't consistent. You can give them, just an idea. I remember when we joked about the idea of the Cheesecake Factory. To have that, you would know whether or not that person likes to go to the Cheesecake Factory. It's actively listening. And so if you don't listen, then you don't know. But if you do listen, then you can find out whether or not it's the truth or a lie in the relationship.
Well, sometimes we hear what we want to hear too.
Said something then.
Sometimes we just hear what we want to hear. We heard no, but we heard yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They said yes, but we heard no.
Or they said no, but she's like, that's the next opportunity. Let me go back and ask them a different way.
Exactly.
And see if I can get
Change
the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they do, then what?
Then you roll with it till the wheels fall off. It's called dating and mental health.
I think sometimes, a lot of times men, and I'll speak on men, I think we conform when dating.
We do too.
We become somebody we're not, maybe swore we'll never be.
Listen, that comes with being authentic to who you are. I am not going to change my hair color because I'm with somebody else different. I'm not going to lose weight or gain weight. Baby, you're going to get this plus sexy with all these tiger stripes. I am
That
going
way.
to be true, right, with me before I can say that I'm ready to even date in any capacity. So
Talk that.
it's just about the person that you're with, and you'll know if they grown or somebody that's just talking.
So how do you feel as a woman when dating, or you know, I want to hear, I guess, two angles. How do you feel, and how do you think the general consensus of women feel when men taking a woman out? Like, are we expected to pay? You know, what is, you know, where are we going? You know, what are we doing? You got something, Hodge?
I was just gonna say, did we ask this person out, or was it a mutual agreement to go out? I'm just trying to see how the
Absolutely.
situation
It
is.
weighs a lot. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for helping clarify for our listeners, and I'll answer that. I'll say I have met her out
Okay.
in society, gas station, we'll just do gas station, whatever, somewhere. And I asked her, you know, approached her, you intrigue me, you know, can we go somewhere and have lunch?
Okay.
So can we go somewhere and have lunch? Is what I'm saying. So with that being said, and you comply and you're like, yes, what are your expectations for you, and what do you think women, you know, generally, you know, what's the consensus of that right now, you think?
The funny part is I was about to break out into a song and sing I'm Every Woman. Listen, because for me, if a man asks me would I like to go out somewhere, I'm not going to go to that place if I don't have the money in my pocket to cover what I'm about to order. But that's because I'm grown. Anything can happen. Card can be declined. You know, your energy is off. Hell, he just decided that he didn't want to pay. It didn't matter. If those things weren't discussed ahead of time, I'm always going to bring enough for me to eat. I'm always going to make sure that I have a way back to the house, even if I was picked up. I'm always going to make sure that at least one or two people know who I'm with, where I'm at. Hell, all the way down to your background check, because I checked it before I went out. But that's me.
Breaker for you?
I can't say a lot of women are like that. Because I believe that if a man says that we're going Dutch, he's challenging me. He's testing me. Or he honestly just doesn't have it, and yet he still wants to spend time with me. So I'm going to watch, and I'm going to pay attention. But that doesn't mean I'm going to write him off because he wants to go Dutch.
Is it okay if he doesn't have it?
Oh, most definitely.
So if he asks you out and he doesn't have it to pay for it, you're okay with it?
Yes. But I need that to be communicated before we leave.
Right.
Because I need to make sure that I got it for both of us on that time. And if not, we can still spend time. We're just going to do something different. We can cook.
Yeah, it's a lot of ways, you know, to spend time that's not monetary,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's necessary to do those things because you
Absolutely.
never know.
Yeah.
You're not always going to be up.
And I think we talked about it earlier. You had some more reasons or why, you know, sometimes when you know, make sure that you have your money, that just because the car might decline, or...
I mean, life is life for everybody. And social media can be a facade. You look like money, and yet you could be broke. And, you know, sometimes you don't want to be honest about that, just like you're not honest about your mental health. And yet, for me, if you're open and honest, I don't care whether or not you got $1,000 or $1 in your pocket. If you want to spend time with me and you're authentic, then I'm down.
Dating's expensive.
It can be.
No, it is.
No, it very well can be.
No, it is. I can tell you firsthand. Like, it is expensive.
It
like,
is. It is.
And sometimes
especially
I think
cheesecake. Okay.
we conform.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to say no to as men, because I think one of the big things too is when we're afraid to tell a woman no because we'll get cut off of whatever benefits that is.
Well, if you don't have it in this season, that doesn't mean the other 3 seasons are going to always be down.
I like that. I like that.
So I just like the fact that if you're on one accord and you're communicating that, you can always get back up.
Now, it's up to us to give that person a time to get back up, right? And do we have a time limit on the point of that person getting themselves up? Because, some people could delay 2, 3, or 4 years. What's the expectation on allowing that person to get themselves, to a point to where they're comfortable or they're better in their lives?
Well, for me, I'm not the type to be like, well, I'm going to give you 3, 4, 5 years. That comes with the beginning of the conversation about the vision. You can have a down season. Hell, I'm in a down season. And even though I'm in a down season, I don't look like it. I sure don't act like it. Yeah, mentality is a little off. Some depression, some anxiety, all of those different things. And yet I'm open with mine. But the fear of rejection and the fear of being open about it all. When you're dating, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, collect data. That's what it's there for.
So do you think people take rejection better from a job than they do from a person? Because, you may not get that job right, but you're going to try to get another job, or you're going to try to figure something out, or you're just going to quit and do nothing. So do you kind of look at it, should you have the same energy when you're dating someone or when you're trying to date someone as well?
It's all in. Either you're going to be all in or all out. There's no gray area, especially in dating, because you're playing with someone's heart. Even though you may try to play it off like, I don't want my emotions to get into it. Any form of intimacy creates an emotion behind it. That's just natural.
I definitely think
I concur.
I definitely think the fear of rejection causes severe mental health damage if left unchecked. I think that if this being withdrawn and let's say you ask 5 women out and they tell you no, I'm gonna think of something wrong with me, maybe,
So does that mean you need to sharpen your iron? Or does that mean you may need to adjust the way that you're coming at the person? It may not necessarily have anything to do with you physically. It may just have something to do with the approach, maybe, So for me, right, I would look at it like, I need to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So let me adjust a little bit. Let me try it this way, or let me maybe say it this way. It may be coming off wrong the way that I'm saying it, right? And then eventually, with practice, and it's not about practice, you know what I'm saying, but just eventually when you do things over and over again, you get better at doing them. You feel more comfortable making that approach, you know what I'm saying, and saying things that may intrigue a person, you know what I'm saying, when you're trying to date them.
And I think too, though, to know it's okay to miss a shot, to know it's okay that there's if not, then that wasn't the one for you, and you could be with the right person at the wrong time too. So just got to be careful on that, and make sure we're going to places to check your mental health. Like we got mentalhealth.gov, website created by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We got helpguide.org, nonprofit organization that provides free evidence-based on information on mental health and well-being. They also on this website have a section on dating and mental health, so make sure y'all go check that out. It's helpguide.org. And there's some good books out there too. A book called Why Him, Why Her? Finding the Love That Lasts by Helen Fisher. So go out there, do some research. If you're not seeing a therapist, talk to a friend, talk to somebody about it. If you're not expressing it, you're not going to be able to find out why you feel this way of from rejection, from the financial strains of, man, I really would love to ask this woman out, but I might not have the kind of money to do it. So but it may not, like you said, in our mind it takes that, but in your mind, it could be just simple. Like, hey, let's go have a picnic and have some cold cut sandwiches and feed the ducks. You know what I mean? Right. So, or whatever, could be free or a hike or whatever. So I just think sometimes we defeat ourselves too when we're out there dating from all our past experiences, all the no's, just like a job. Everything's disappointing. Of getting a house, car, whatever it is, just being told no sucks. So it's just, we know we're going to get told no. So, what are we going to do about it? You got to do your research and just be ready for when these times come. And do you know yourself well? I mean, we out here dating, getting to know other people, but have you dated yourself? Have you took yourself out to find yourself?
Self-care.
You know what I mean? Like, have you made those deposits that you make on other people on yourself? So before you really go try. Are you ready to date other people? Try dating yourself.
Take
do
yourself
you make
out to
yourself
eat.
laugh. Yeah,
Right.
Take yourself out to eat.
Yeah, take
Take
yourself out
yourself
to
to
a
the
movie.
movies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just, it may seem strange when you don't have that other person across the table from you if you're eating or you're doing some things out. But you got to learn how to enjoy yourself first, and then you can definitely enjoy time with someone else, you know what I mean? But if you can't even enjoy time by yourself, how you going to enjoy time with somebody else? So let's make sure we're doing that as well. Yes,
So with that being said, what are some things that you do, Dr. LaTracey, that help, in those times when, that you need to make those mental health deposits? What are some things that you do, and not necessarily toward dating, just towards your mental health bank? What kind of deposits do you make, or any suggestions or best bets in making mental health deposits?
Well, I'm an advocate for mental health therapy, talk therapy, seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist. And I mention these things because these are things that I do.
You fulfilling your own list.
Yes. All my lists. If I have an expectation, I'm doing it.
That's important.
My self-care, I make sure I'm getting more of the inward, the meditation, my journaling, my just getting grounded, in addition to the things of my appearance, going to get my nails done, my feet done, going to the barbershop, that type of thing. I have a circle of people that are around me that make sure that I'm good. And I let them know and communicate when I'm not.
Very important.
That's
to have
important.
that.
That's important.
Support system. Right.
Yeah.
And that's bigger in the bank for me than any financial anything.
Because you got investors.
Yes.
You don't have to make all the deposits by yourself.
Right.
You got a team. You got a team working with you and for you.
And that's important when dating. And a lot of people
absolutely.
don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're looking at, what can I give you? You making sure I'm good? There's nothing I can't do.
Right. It has to be beneficial.
Or what can I get from you?
Right.
Right. That's all the withdrawals. Yeah. You want to stay from those people just taking withdrawals and not making deposits back. So
I think it's challenging for men and women, dating out here on the scene, because it does bring a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and it can affect your mental health. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going into it correctly, if you're having those miscommunications, if you don't understand the love language, if you're trying to reach an understanding with somebody and you're never getting that understanding, those things can weigh heavy on you. So it's important that you can try to find a safe place with your significant other or even with yourself, before you go into any relationship, knowing that you're ready. Be ready for yourself so you can be ready for the next person. How you gonna lead the next person if you can't even lead yourself the right way?
Right.
And go into it knowing that you don't have everything figured out, because what didn't work in your last relationship doesn't mean that something's gonna work, or you need to fix that'll work in your new one.
Right.
It might not even be a requirement.
Sometimes we take that same stigma that we had from our last relationship over to the new relationship. It's just the same thing. It's just transpiring over again. So how do we make it a difference? If we go into it thinking the same way we was thinking in our last relationship, are we just going to have another destruction in this relationship that we having because we're doing the same thing that we've been doing? Do we have to make them adjustments so that we can find a different route or a different approach for this relationship? Is it something that we really, truly want?
That's one of the things that's important when you do go to therapy. Those are the things that the therapist will ask you. Are you ready? Are you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually ready for a relationship? And that's all before you even think about the financial side, because dating is expensive.
Absolutely.
But I know this is y'all podcast, but I'm just thinking about, do men really not approach a woman because of finances?
I mean, I feel like I would feel better approaching her with myself in a good financial space.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that I can maybe provide or show her things that I'm capable of doing. And if I'm in a position where I'm not able to show those things, and it doesn't have to be monetary, if I can't even take you to the store to get some groceries, you know what I'm saying? Somebody can, and I think, those are things that are looked at as well. So even though we may not have that job or we may not have the finances that we want in life, we definitely got to have something going on so that we can provide something. you know what I'm saying, in a relationship. You got to be bringing something to the table, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't have to be monetary, but how are you making somebody else's life easier? You know what I'm saying? How is that person making your life easier? These are things you got to look at as well.
And this is what I know on that too is I'm not the spokesman for all men, but I might get a lot of head nods when I say, man, nothing sucks worse than when you can't do something for your lady, your kid, your mom, your sister, your brother, or something as a man alone, just to know that I've committed to being able to be there and I can't. I think that's one of the worst, one of them, you know what I mean, for men to not be able to provide or follow through, because there is a big expectation for us to just as being a man, you know what I mean? It's disappointing, you know, it's you know, family looks up, you know what I mean, and then I can't be there for them the way I want to, or this female or whoever I'm with, you know, it's a terrible feeling inside to not be able to provide for somebody that you know and want to, that deserve it.
Absolutely.
But that's a part of your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe that woman doesn't even need you to come in financially.
Right. This is for his mentality, not hers.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So, correct. But what I'm saying is for men, I think it's an extra layer of pressure when we don't have that to follow through. You know what I mean? Not necessarily saying the women or the family wouldn't be okay with it. You know what I mean? Hopefully you've picked the right other one that they'll understand there are down seasons. Right. You know, there are seasons that aren't always sunny and, you know, it's raining too. But it's just that's weighs heavy on a man's mental health.
Yeah, I see
because
that.
just alone, just the stigma of having to be a provider, or you know, just letting down my family, or letting down this one person that you know could count on me, whether or not that it was okay that she didn't mind or she understood and it was okay, but it's still that doesn't take away the weight that it weighs on us. Even knowing that even if she tells you that, I don't think so. What do you think, Hodge? Like,
I think as a man, you know, we want to be able to take care of our family, our loved ones, because we know that they're looking up to us or they're looking to us to do these things. Now, whether that's the situation or not, just being as a man, I feel like, you know, we want to make sure that we can provide, be a protector, and do all of those things. And when we're not able to do it, I definitely think it can affect your mental health.
And that's going to lead to low self-esteem. I'm going to need more reassurance. It's going to be harder. There's anxiety. Like you said, the anxiety part comes, well, if I'm not doing it, then I just leave the door open for somebody else. These are things that we think. You don't necessarily we think this about our woman or per se, or that we don't trust it. It's just knowing that I didn't have it.
Especially when you know that your significant other may deserve the world and you can't give it to her, or you can't give it to him.
And you're trying.
And then you like, man, you know, somebody out there that should give her this because she deserves it. So that definitely weighs heavy as well, you know. It's just these things that we deal with as a man, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to just shift it a little bit, you know, just to a female's perspective of those type of situations, you know what I mean?
It's important. I feel exactly how y'all feel. And I know I'm not a man, but I've always had to be that protector and that provider, being a single woman. I think the roles, they were reversed in a lot of different areas. So you guys were taught to protect and provide, and yet so was I. And I walked that out. That was my journey. It's still my journey. And so I don't look to anyone else to take that over. But it does affect the mentality.
Do you find it hard letting go of it when you're in a relationship, letting go of being, you know, that masculinity part of it, you know, being, you know, provider, leading, control, all that stuff? Is it hard for you to let go at that point?
No. If in that situation, if I know that I can trust, then I don't have a problem letting go of nothing. I love being a woman in every aspect of the word. So for me, if I know that I can assist my partner into being who he wants to be, I'll sit back. I have no problem being the damsel in distress. Every day. What you need, I got it. It doesn't matter, even with the title. Listen, I don't have a problem being a woman.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it's important that men, women, just everybody knows that, you know, you don't have to be the protector all the time if you're not able to be the protector.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the financer all the time if you not able to have those finances. And you know what I'm saying? And I think when we can kind of get over that and accept that, I think that'll be a step forward for, you know, men's mental health.
I think there's a lot of women who are accepting to that, but they're already taken for the most part. And the same thing kind of like with men too. You know, it's kind of the finding the needles in the haystacks. You know what I mean? Of what, I guess what we want. But so I got a question while we staying in kind of women's mental health with the body and rejection and conscientious and body shaming and things of that. Because I know that's a heavy one for women, or just the appearance, body. You know, that's a heavy one. You know, what do you have for, you know, the women out there that, you know, have these issues and anxiety just from this, or have eating disorders, or have a you know, substance or whatever, go to fall back on something because of these, you know, insecurities and things while dating, and what do you have, you know, for the women out there?
Or feel like they're not good enough.
I don't think a woman should get into a relationship without knowing that she's ready. If she can't look at her body in the mirror naked and be secure in who she is as a woman, whether she has some extra rolls, some muffins, some tiger stripes, you know, whatever it may be. Right. Pull all the animals out. I'm just saying.
We love all of that.
Yes.
Don't be ashamed of that.
Wild Kingdom.
So, right. And, you know, you may have hair today. Okay, well, tomorrow you may not. Look, but then it's gray. Ooh. And then, you know, we grown.
Yeah.
Things change. And so if you're, as a woman, not secure in that, then no.
And if they don't like you for who you are, you don't need to be with them anyway.
Yeah.
Men are women too.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's a fact.
You gotta
Don't short yourself.
Right. You gotta appreciate the animal kingdom.
You gotta appreciate the animal kingdom.
Yeah. You got to. I mean, I remember when I did not love myself. But
Talk
I
about
was
it now.
loving him. And I left me.
Dangerous.
Because I was loving him and I didn't love me. So when he wanted someone that was smaller, I was working to get smaller. When he wanted someone bigger, I didn't know that.
Trying to fit in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, man, listen, if you can't appreciate it, then you don't need it. And I know what I bring to the table, the whole damn table.
So, you know, relationships can be therapeutic, you know. We just got to get back to the things that are important. We got to make these compromises. You know, we got to appreciate each other. That's what my dad used to always tell me, you know, when you get in a relationship, just make sure whoever you with, you guys appreciate each other.
Yeah.
Because that goes a long way. If you can't appreciate the person that you with, definitely not going to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I was taught not to start a relationship and keep it up, as well as don't expect that person to give you what you won't give yourself.
One time for the one time.
Hey, Hodge, I got a question for you.
Talk to me, brother.
What are some ways that women can be more supportive of men's mental health during the dating process? What do you think are some ways that women can be more supportive while we're going through the dating process?
I'm going to just throw the disclaimer out here. These are just my thoughts and my opinion only.
Yes.
Talk to him.
Let's say that one more time for me, brother.
All right, one more time. What are some of the ways that women can be more supportive of men's mental health during the dating process?
I think the biggest thing is to show appreciation, right? And I think the second thing is they have to allow us to lead and believe that we have their best interests, right? I think the third thing is you want to bring that finance to the table, because you can do a lot of great things by yourself, but you can do some amazing things with somebody, right?
Yeah.
And then the fourth and the last thing for me, you got to keep you know what I'm saying, you got to keep yourself up. You know, a man don't like when you look a certain way at home, but you go out and you looking beautified or you looking amazing. You know what I'm saying? We want that at the house too. You know what I'm saying? So those are just some things that I think, you know what I'm saying?
I'll add on to that too. I think some are I've been on some dates with some women who ain't listening, paid attention, phone up or whatever, you know what I mean? Or just act like they're not interested.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like it goes with alignment with appreciation of, hey, we both chose to spend time with here. You're not even asking questions to get to know me, or I'm asking all the questions. I just think sometimes and wonder why women get the blame of wanting just a meal because you're not even giving us conversation. At least, I'm not saying you got to act like you're interested or not, but at least, if you expect me to pay for a meal, you know what I mean?
At least give me some
drinks.
Time and a little
enjoyable.
attention. You ain't got to give me 100%, but give me a little attention. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that you appreciate what I've done for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or what we're doing.
Just some conversation. You know what I mean? So, I just think those are a couple things. What about you think? What do you think, Dr. LaTracey? What do you think some things that women can do better or more from a woman's point of view that could help with men's mental health while the process of dating? What do you think? Anything that we didn't hit or that you agree with or disagree with?
Your points, both of y'all points was on, but when you said to allow that man to lead, I about fell out my chair.
And did.
Hey, right. Because a lot of men are either afraid to lead or afraid of their abilities that they even can do it. Because it doesn't matter what the title is if she's a true woman. If that man steps up in any way, then she's going to allow him to do it because she's going to fall back into her femininity. And that's so important because it's all over social media where they say, well, if you don't want a woman to be so masculine, then remove those masculine responsibilities. So I just think that it's not just about taking care of that woman wholeheartedly, but being able to be real. Just be real, be yourself, and for that woman to be his peace. If she's coming crazy, then you know that within the first 2-3 dates. So to help a man with his mental health, don't add to the pressure of the world. Release him from it.
We just want to have, ladies, and Hodge, let me know if you agree. We just want to have a good time. And I ain't talking about, panty dropping good time. I'm just talking about good conversation.
Okay.
Eye contact, some kind of compatibility. We might not even find out if we're complimentary the first, couple of dates, but we just want to have a good time and good conversation. That's all we really want. You know
That's
what
important.
I mean? So
compatibility makes everything better. You know what I'm saying?
So here's a few things that you can reduce dating stress. Once again, make sure you're being realistic about the expectations. It's important to have realistic expectations about dating. There is no perfect person or relationship, and every experience is rejection at some point. Focus on the process, not the outcome. That's a big
good.
one. Focus
That's
on the
good.
process and not the outcome. Like we talk about, let's enjoy. Don't think about getting them draws. Just enjoy being with your date.
Yeah.
Kings out there. So it's important to focus on enjoying the dating process rather than being obsessed with finding a partner. That's why the title is, what does love got to do with it? Are you out there trying to find a good person, or are you trying to find some good love? You know what I mean? Be yourself. It's important to be authentic and genuine when dating. Trying to be someone you're not is exhausting and will eventually lead to disappointment for both parties.
I agree 100%.
Take care of yourself. It's important to take care of yourself physically, emotionally when dating. This includes getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and exercising regularly.
Make it a date.
Yeah, make it a date to exercise.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They go for a hike, all that stuff, nature. And lastly,
cook together. Cook some healthy food. That's kind of therapeutic.
Yeah, absolutely. Seek support if you're struggling with dating stress or it impacts your mental health. It's important to seek support from a friend, family member, therapist, or mental health professional. Call today. If you don't want to go, call 988. That is a mental hotline. You can call and talk about anything. 988, just like it's 911. Call
988.
And it's a safe place. And there's nothing wrong with calling.
Safe place. We talk about that all the time. So kings out there, when you feel like you're not having a safe space, call 988 and you can get somebody to talk to about your issues and problems. So I think we're about here at the end of it, Hodge. Man, I really enjoyed this time with you, Dr. LaTracey. Learned a lot. Enjoyed the conversation as always. Good, stimulating conversation. So just out there, guys, dating, guys and women, dating can be a stressful experience for both men and women. However, there are a number of things that people can do to reduce dating stress and protect their mental health. So by being realistic about expectations, focusing on the process and being themselves and taking care of themselves and seeking support when needed, people can minimize the negative impact of dating stress on their mental well-being. You got anything you want to add, Hodge?
Man, before we get out of here, I just want to give Dr. LaTracey the time to leave any information or any contacts if she have anything that she wants to leave with the audience. Definitely want to extend a special thank you for taking time out today to sit with us on our podcast. It means everything.
I appreciate you. I'm honored. I believe that it's important for men to have the mental health and the support that they need, because as a woman, we can't always be and do all. And so when you mention what's love got to do with it, it's loving ourselves first. And for y'all, that's the first and most important priority. And so I appreciate the opportunity being on the podcast. I believe that each and every person has a story. And so that's my specialty. So if you want to talk about it, be about it, or make money with your story, reach out and I'll talk to you soon.
Where can I get in touch with you at?
Black Authors Rock on all social media, Black Authors Rock website, as well as www.blackauthorsrock.com.
This is the MANtality Podcast, episode number 4. What's love got to do with it? Make sure y'all take care of y'all mental health. Make some deposits today.
Yes.
Quit overdrawing your mental health bank account. Call the doctor. Make some appointments. Do something productive that's healthy. You know, if you don't want to talk about it, then walk about it. Do something that's pertaining to your health and mental health.
Please.
Until the next episode.
We outie.
We out.
We out.